All right, we're in Iowa, we're at the Buckleys, and we are scouting some public land and breaking it down of why it is good. If you don't know Scott, well, he's been on 2 whitetail cribs. We've recorded a bunch of content with him. We've shed hunted his farm twice, and when he talks about whitetails, you better listen. So listen up as he breaks down this piece of public on why it's worthwhile to scout and possibly even put a little tree stand in. So let's get right into it. Here we go.
We're like a mile back in the public piece here, an old road bed from probably back in the 50s, 60s. Huge scrape right here, and they're tearing that post up. Pretty cool. The things you see in Iowa.
Did you hunt this in the morning specifically, or afternoon, or both? Or
Morning would be better. If I was hunting the rut, it'd be better. You know, they're probably bedding up high and you're not disturbing it. Going in for afternoon hunt and blowing them out, but mornings would be great, especially with your thermals going up. That might even help deer coming from that way, because I'm sure they travel that bottom heavy. There was maybe one trail down there, but it looks like these deer are coming in and out. A lot of these trails come right through here. So my thought was, I got to get on this corner for northwest wind. The fence is probably less than 100 yards. And the private land up there, huge cedar thicket, and then you got all his food plots up in there. So my kind of thought, you know, I looked up here for a stand, and I thought, because I can watch that ridge up there, and I thought, well, if a buck comes behind me, shoot him, you know, before he wins you. But then I got thinking, you know, I started looking at more and more, and all these trails were dumping out. So, I mean, I might miss a few deer on top. So then I'm like, well, should I get in the pines? But, you know, you might not see them working through here. I mean, the only tree I got picked out in here was, and it's pretty thick, is just that little scrubby thing right there. You know, you'd be safe with the wind if they're coming through here. You'd be downhill. I mean, you're kind of in the open, but you got to be alert. But it's really the only tree you can get into. You know, your wind dumps off there. It looks like most of their travel route is just right through here, up and down. And there's another heavy trail comes in from there and comes down. And a spot like this, I'd come in and sit all day from mid-October or late October on. I mean, if you're a little bit earlier in October, of course, it'd be better in the evening, sneak into that in the evening, like, you know, from the 20th to whatever, the end of the month, you might get more nighttime movement coming out of the, you know, out of that bedding thicket there and working their way down. Probably better in the evening, but come November 3rd, 4th, get in here all day. So I hike a lot of these spots back in. I'm gonna sit all day. I mean, by the time you go all the way up and back in, I mean, you're wore out, and I mean, sometimes you get bored sitting there and sore, but it's not worth the trip up and leaving scent. And I mean, it isn't the best tree, but it's gonna have to work for this situation, because there's just a ton of deer traffic right in here. I'll show you over there, but that's kind of my idea. I marked the tree. We might try it, and yeah, you'll see what I mean up here. See, all these trails go within sight of that tree right there. And when you come out here, you see there's just dozens of trail all come right up on this point here. You might miss that trail if they go up there. And the problem is I gotta walk across these trails. I probably wouldn't walk in here. Yeah. I'd come up over like through the pines or something, like from that road trail, and just come down through the middle. But yeah, all these trails just kind of come right up through here.